welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lucy and I am a YouTuber, a blogger. I do like the Instagram thing, and I'm also a mum to a little boy called Harry. I've got a fiance called Scott and I'm getting married in August. So yes, if you like this video and you want to see more from me, then don't forget to subscribe. So anyway, if you're not new here and you've watched my videos before, you might think I look a little bit different, and that is because I am wearing absolutely no makeup today. So a lot of us wear makeup. I wear makeup not only to cover imperfections, but also because I just really enjoy makeup. I really like applying it, I love buying it. I just really like the way you can change the way you look and enhance your features with products. That being said, I really wish that I was confident enough to go out with no makeup, which I'm not yet, but I'm feeling like making this video and putting it out there is the first step to being able to leave the house with maybe less makeup or no makeup. So the purpose of this video is for me to tell you my adult acne story and also share with you some of the skincare saviours, some of the things that saved my skin during the time that I had acne and exactly the products that I use now. So I take you back to when my acne started. So when I was pregnant with my son Harry is now 4, so I'm talking like 5 years ago. When I was pregnant with him, I started to get like cystic, really big spots under my skin. By no means was it acne, it was just very hormonal skin. I had very big lumps under my skin, especially around my chin area, and yeah, they just weren't very nice. And previous to that, I just had good skin. I never had like really glowy, perfect skin with no pores, but I definitely didn't really get a lot of spots. Maybe just like one if I didn't wash my face properly, or like the time of the month spot. So when I was pregnant, I did suffer from a few cystic spots, which kind of sucked, but I just put them down to pregnancy. And then I had Harry and my skin seemed to just settle back down again, but it never really went back to how it was before. It always suffered with something, whether it was a dry area, eczema. I suffered from really bad eczema on my cheeks. I'd get like rashy skin, and then I started to get like little spots under my skin, and it was just never like that clear sort of complexion that I'd been used to before I was pregnant. But that being said, all of those sorts of skin problems didn't really bother me that much. It was the kind of thing where I could put on quite a light foundation, a bit of bronzer, a bit of mascara, and I was quite comfortable with how I looked. I then suffered from an ectopic pregnancy. If you are interested in anything like that, then I will pop a link to it below. But I had an ectopic pregnancy, and straight after that, obviously my hormones were all over the place. Just a side note, I'm not obviously a professional or anything like that, and everything that happened to me, I'm just explaining to you what I think happened to my body. So after my ectopic pregnancy, I feel like my hormones just went mental. My skin on my arms and my legs changed. It went very, very dry, and I'd never really had that before. And also I started to get acne, and it literally just hit me like a bus. It just came on so suddenly, and my cheeks were all just full of spots, and my chin was full of spots, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And to be honest, at first I didn't really think about hormones at all, because obviously I'd had an ectopic pregnancy, but I hadn't really thought about the fact that my body had been pregnant and then not been pregnant, so it probably was a bit confused maybe. I was also off my pill at that point, and I think my body just had gone a bit nuts. But I didn't really put it down to that. I just assumed that it was the products I was using, and so I started to research a lot more on the skincare, because I never really spent a lot on skincare. I'd research all these different things and thought, right, I need to get a really good skincare regime in place. I followed Caroline Hiron's blog, and I used her cheat sheets for like a whole new skincare regime where I was using serums and oils and cleansers and double cleansers and everything under the sun. I was like, right, I need to spend a load of money and get all these expensive products and pack it on my face. That did absolutely nothing for me, and it made the acne worse. So I switched up the products again, I used less, and it just wasn't getting any better. I'm going to share with you some photos now, and I'm sure if you've watched any of these videos before, everybody says it, but I feel sick showing you these photos just because of how I felt at the time, and how, just to me, how awful it looked. And I just couldn't believe at almost 30 years old I had skin like this. So I've put the photos on screen now. as you can see, I wouldn't say that I had a severe form of acne by any means, and I don't want to say that I did, because I know that acne can be so much worse, but this was pretty bad for me, and I think that it doesn't even pick up on camera how bad it was, because that just shows you the really red spots. You can't really see all like the bumpy bits sort of underneath. So anyway, it got to the point where I was like, I think I need to see a professional about this, whether it was a skincare person or a doctor. So I went to my doctor, who said that of course hormones change all the time in a woman, especially if you've had like an ectopic pregnancy or a normal pregnancy or anything like that. Any sort of change in your body can throw your hormones out of whack, and perhaps that I was lacking in something. Did I want to go back on the pill? And I was like, I don't really want to go back on the pill, because I've just had this ectopic and I just wanted my body to feel cleansed and just sort of free from all the drugs. And we were definitely using protection, but I just didn't want anything in my body. I don't know if that really makes sense to you, but to me, after an ectopic, I just sort of wanted my body to be like on its own, just to do its own thing. So I didn't want to go back on the pill, and she prescribed me antibiotics. I can't tell you what they were called, unfortunately, because I really don't remember. But she put me on antibiotics, which I took for 4 months, and they did nothing. In fact, I think the first month it made it worse, and then there on after it was just the same. Like, it just didn't get any better. So I went back to the doctors. I said, you know, this is like ruining my life. That sounds so pathetic, doesn't it? Like, so vain and so pathetic, but I just think your face is like you. Like, you could hide a bit of a flabby belly, or you could hide your cellulite, or, you know, you could hide the fact that you've got a mole that you don't really like somewhere. But I just think that with acne, especially when it was really bright outside, and especially doing the job I do here online, I just felt like everybody was looking at it and everybody could see it. And of course, it probably wasn't as bad and didn't look as bad as I knew it did without makeup, but to me it was awful, and I actually started not going to things, and I wanted to just see people when it was dark, because I didn't want them to notice my acne. I'd gone back to the doctors and I was very upset, and I just said to her, look, I just think it's so unfair. I'm like 30 years old, I was almost 30 at this point, and I'm suffering from acne, like what the hell? So she put me on another set of antibiotics and also gave me a cream, which again I tried it for another 4 months, and just nothing happened. And you know, she said you might need to try it for a little bit longer, but she did say she didn't think that it was doing a lot. And then we started to talk about Roaccutane, or products related to Roaccutane. If you haven't heard of Roaccutane before, there's a lot of information online, but it's a very, very strong drug for acne, and I've seen incredible results, and I know that it does amazing things for a lot of people, but for me, I just couldn't justify putting my body through some of the possible side effects just for the way I looked, and it can cause problems with fertility and all sorts of like, it just wasn't really right for me at that time. So I decided to not go for Roaccutane, and I said to the lady I would just like to try a topical treatment with no antibiotics. So a topical treatment is like a cream or an ointment that you put on your face, usually just on the area that you want to clear up, and then you just sort of let it do its thing. So the topical treatment she gave me was this, and this is called Aknemycin Plus. Okay, it's got a lot of ingredients in it that I can't say any names of, but if you would like me to list what's in this product, or you want to know a little bit more, then do leave me a comment and I'll let you know. But basically it's a little dabber on the top that when you apply it to your face, you sort of dab it in the areas you need it to, and it applies a certain amount of the solution onto your spots. Now I think you're meant to just put this on non-broken spots with the dabber, and then any broken ones you can sort of like dab with your finger. If it's a broken spot, it absolutely just kills for like a few seconds, but then it just suddenly makes them feel calm and they go very, very, very dry. The trouble was, when she prescribed me this, is I was using it morning and night like she said, but it was literally flaking off, not just the spotty area, it was flaking off like all of the skin around it. And because the spots were near my lips went so dry, they were so sore that I couldn't use it every day. And I also found I needed to use quite a rich moisturizer. So this was really good for when I got a new spot, and it helped it to dry up, and sometimes it would be like a spot under the skin and it would never come out because I'd used this on it, and so that was a really good thing. But it didn't solve the problem of spots developing, so I was still just getting loads and loads of spots, but this stuff was just helping them dry up quicker. But then I was getting like dry flaky skin as well, so I don't know if I was in a better position or if it was just like worse or the same, because I just didn't have clear skin on it. It wasn't like the only solution for me. So when I went back to the doctors, she asked me again, are you considering going back on contraception? And by this time it's like 2 years past my ectopic pregnancy, and I decided that perhaps I did want to go back on the pill, and she said that could do wonders for your skin. So I went on the pill called Lucie, which was formerly known as Yasmin. There is a lot of information if you Google Yasmin or Lucie, mainly Yasmin, because it has been linked to high blood pressure, and there has even been fatalities from people taking it. Don't be freaked out. I think that these things are very rare, but your doctor will know what suits you. So I quite naturally have very low blood pressure, to the point where I've had my blood pressure taken and they're like, are you okay? But that is just my normal now. Like, I've come to know that and they've come to know that. So a pill like Yasmin or Lucie isn't really a worry for them, for me to take, because I don't suffer from high blood pressure or any of the things that, you know, you would kind of give you warning signals to not take it. They also check me every few months to make sure my blood pressure is okay and to see that I'm getting on okay with it. So I was quite happy to take it, and she said that it could help with my skin. So I was on Yasmin / Lucie for 3 months, and I noticed not a lot of difference. I felt like I was still getting acne and the scarring was there, and yeah, I just didn't feel like it was doing a lot. But I know that these things take a lot of time and it's a hormone, and I still felt like, you know, my periods were regulating and I needed to sort of maybe give it a little bit longer. So I gave it another 3 months, and this is where I am at now. Now, this isn't a preachy video. I'm not telling you to go out there, go to doctors and get the pill, because the pill isn't right for everybody, and especially this one, because obviously the things I've just explained. But it has worked absolute wonders for me. I feel like the hormones that are in that particular pill may have been something I was lacking or I needed balancing out. I just feel like my skin is just normal again. I do feel like my skin is good now, because not just of the pill but of the products that I use and the tools that I use to clean my face. So that is why I wanted to mention them here today, because I don't just think it's the pill alone. I do think a lot of it's diet as well. I find if I do have a lot of sugary things, if I drink alcohol, I will get a spot straight away. So I just know that I need to eat well. I need to eat a lot of good nutritious foods. I need fish. I need a lot of vegetables in my diet to help my skin look good. I am not saying that this skin is amazing by any means. I mean, it's very uneven. I've got a lot of scarring still. I'm very aware that my skin is not perfect, and I do have quite a lot of scarring from the acne, but do you know what? I feel so much more confident with this skin. Even though there's scars on it, I feel like with a nice little layer of makeup on it, I just feel so much more confident again. And I'm just hoping that by the end of this year I get to the point where I could wear like a BB cream, or I don't know, just a really less coverage foundation, or even no foundation to go out. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, just because I am quite pale as well, and I don't tend to tan my face because I don't want to get wrinkles. So yeah, I don't know if I will go out with like no makeup at all, but I would hope that I'm definitely going to start wearing less makeup and try and embrace my natural skin a little bit more. So I definitely still get the odd spot, particularly around the time of the month, or like I said, if I eat a lot of sugary stuff or have cocktails or alcohol and crappy foods like that. I've got one sort of here that's like a hard bump that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The redness that you see, like I said, is scarring, and I would love to know if you've got any products that you use for scarring, because I feel like I'm not using any particular scarring products because I just don't really know what to use at the moment. So if you have had acne scarring treatments, or you use anything every day that you found really helps, do let me know, because I'd really like to try some products to help get rid of the scarring. So onto the products I use. I've already mentioned the Aknemycin Plus. I use this not every day at all. I use this when I can feel like a spot coming, or sometimes I use it if I know I've had a really bad day of eating and I can sort of just know that my spots are going to come up on my chin, so I'll just use a little bit on my chin. As I said, this is very drying, but I have found the most amazing moisturiser to team with it. So this is the moisturiser I use. If you are a fan of my channel, then you might have seen it in a couple of favourites videos. This is by La Roche-Posay and this is called the Effaclar H. And Effaclar H is a moisturiser, just a nice daily light moisturiser. It's almost got a gel-like consistency, but it just feels so moisturising. It does leave a really nice film on your skin, but not greasy in the slightest. And this is actually aimed at acne-prone skin, but particularly acne-prone skin where you've used a drying product for it or you're on antibiotics. So something like this is so perfect for you if you are currently going through some sort of process to get rid of acne. But I use this all the time and I just really can't see me stopping using it. The only downside is it's £16 and it's not a very big bottle, so that is a little bit annoying. In terms of makeup removal, I'm just really stripping it back here, and I use the eye makeup remover from Simple, and this is just a nice sort of oily makeup remover, and I just use this for my eyes and my eyebrows. And yeah, I just think it really does the job without irritating. Cleanser wise, I've got a few to show you and they are all absolute favourites, but I wanted to show you what I use to cleanse my face with. So I use something called a Clarisonic, and this is a face brush with bristles on here. This does look dirty, but it's not. It gets absolutely disinfected and cleaned every day, but I think I just need to get a new head because they do just get a little bit stained. But this is a face brush and I feel like this has changed my life. I feel like the minute I start using it, my face just feels so clean. I don't think you can get a cleanse like it with your fingers or with a flannel. I think that you really should invest in a face brush if you can. They're not cheap, but you use it every single day. I use this every morning and every night. I just put a bit of cleanser on it with a wet face and just go ahead. This one's got like little settings on it, so it will give you like a timer for each part of your face. And yeah, I just can't really say much more about it, but I really think that this has helped my skin. It's buffed away those dead skin cells, as well as getting my face as clean as possible. Cleanser wise, this is probably the one that I use the most, and this is the La Roche-Posay Effaclar. It's called the Gel Mousse Parafont, but basically it's a cleanser. I do find that La Roche-Posay, sometimes the packaging can be quite confusing, but yeah, this is a cleanser and it comes in this really nice big bottle that lasts ages. I tend to use this one more at night, and I don't know why. I just feel like it helps to get any makeup left over off my face. It's a bit like the Effaclar H, where it's really hydrating, but it doesn't feel like, you know, thick and like it's doing too much to your skin. It just feels really gentle and I really love it. So when my skin was particularly dry and flaky from the products I was using, I used the La Roche-Posay Effaclar H cleanser. This isn't an everyday one for me, just because I feel like it's a bit too hydrating sometimes, but if I have had a bit of a spotty time or I've been out in the sun a lot and my skin's quite dry, then I definitely use this cleanser for a bit of hydration without it giving me breakouts. Another really nice cleanser that I like to use particularly in the mornings is this Cetaphil cleanser. This is the Gentle Skin Cleanser. It's actually for dry and sensitive skin, but I just think that it's really good for all skins. It's so gentle, and that's what I really like in the morning. I know some people like to get up, go and wash their face with something quite harsh and quite citrusy and fresh, but for my skin it just doesn't work for me. That would completely break me out. I like to have something really gentle but also quite cleansing, and I do find that my face is very clean after this, but it just doesn't mess with the balance on my skin, and I just don't break out with it. So I really like to use this one in the morning, and it's really cheap. So onto face masks. I've got a couple here to show you. This is one of my absolute favourites. It's by Garnier. It's the Pure Active 3-in-1 clay. They also do a black one, but I'm just trying out this white one and I really really like it. So this stuff you can use as a wash. I'm sure it's great as a wash and a scrub, but you can use it as a mask, which is my favourite thing to use it for. I try not to overdo it with masks. I do like 1 a week, 2 a week maximum, but yeah, I find if I overdo it then I actually break out. So this is really good at just sort of getting really deep into the pores and just getting out the gunk. And it's got zinc in it, which is really, really good for your skin, and I just think it's a really good mask if you're suffering from acne. So another amazing mask that I've just added to my routine is this one from Sanctuary, and I had no idea that Sanctuary does such amazing skincare for your face. It's so, so nice. So this is called Being by Sanctuary Spa, and this is the Pomelo Illuminating Peel Off Face Mask, and I absolutely love it. I feel like I want to do a video just on this, and when you put it on, your face goes like all metallic and orange, and it just looks so, so nice. And this is basically to bring a bit of illumination to your skin. It does nothing for like acne or anything like that, but it also doesn't break me out. And I tend to use this if I've got a big night out or a nice big day out in London or something, and I just want my skin to really glow. I put this on in the morning, and then by the time I've done my hair or whatever, it's time to peel it off, and I'm left with just a really nice glow. I don't know how it does it, but it's just really, really good. And the last product I wanted to show you is also a face mask, but it's one that you leave on overnight. This is a little mini size sample, but it's the Origins Drink Up Intensive mask, and if you've not seen it before, I don't know where you've been, because it's such a good mask. So a lot of people steer away from really hydrating products when they have acne or they've had acne, but I actually find that I need to put hydration back in. I just need to do it in the right way, and I find this mask incredible. I use it about twice a week, and yeah, you basically pop it on before you go to sleep, just like a moisturizer, and it just sort of is a little bit thicker and just soaks into your skin, and you wake up with really, really fresh, really lovely feeling skin. There's also a really, really lovely one that Origins do called Glow Canuts, I think it's called, and it's a collaboration with Madeline Shaw, and it's so, so good, and it smells amazing as well. This one smells a little bit more like herby, so yeah, but it's a really, really good mask anyway. So this has probably been the longest video I've done in ages, but I obviously needed to tell you my story and help you out with some of the products that I've been using. If you've had acne or you're suffering from acne, let me know in the comments below your story and any of the products that you've been using, or if you've had a similar story to mine and you've thought the pill has helped you as well. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I hope I haven't scared you off with my naked face. I'll see you next time. Bye!